Hey, I'm Michael Kosir. I'm a developer advocate at HashiCorp, which is now an IBM company. Now, I know many of you might be thinking, IBM isn't that the company with mainframes and legacy systems, and you are correct. But we also are doing some other cool things like cloud-native distributed systems and modern DevOps. The cool thing I like is we do a lot of cool sponsorships where we don't just put our name on things, but we actually do all of their analytics. So this is an example of the Masters golf mobile app. So that was a couple weeks ago. For 1 week a year, this mobile app is used. I think it's like a team of 30 people that work on this year-round for 1 week. This is all of the infrastructure that goes into that. Something else that's cool, the golden age of gaming consoles, fight me on it. These all have IBM Power PC processors in them. Shout out which one is your favorite. And then also Artemis 2 that just launched was also powered by IBM Power servers as well at the Kennedy Space Center there. Big partnership with IBM and NASA all the way back to the Apollo program. But what I am here today to talk about is the cost of late stage fixes. So a lot of problems start in code, and as they move to testing and all the way to production, it just gets more and more expensive to fix those problems. And so what can we do about that? And these were on PowerPoint and they got converted to Google Slides, so some of the formatting's all wrong. You can blame Google. But essentially code to infrastructure to runtime, and that is a constant feedback loop. So every time you learn from one phase, it feeds into the next. Around code, I know you can't really see that here, but they're really around when you're coding in your IDE or like VS Code, we want to use plugins for static code analysis. So as you're writing code, it's telling you, what's vulnerable. That way you can fix it before you even push it or commit it. Also, with code, we want to automate risk and gap remediation and correlate the various things. A lot of times organizations have data across many different silos, and it's hard to correlate everything together. Infrastructure-wise, we want infrastructure as code. There's a lot of sponsors out there, including IBM, that are talking about infrastructure as code. Definitely the best way to deal with infrastructure. You don't want to be manually provisioning things. Additionally, also with infrastructure, the biggest thing that you get is policy as code and version control systems as well. Just because developers are writing infrastructure as code, your security teams and your finance teams can put guardrails in place so they can't spin up a very large virtual machine. For runtime, we care about observability. That's also a common theme that the sponsor hall has. We want observability, discover mapping, resource optimization. Just because we get to production doesn't mean everything's working. So we kind of, again, going back into that feedback loop, prevent, enforce, observe, prevent at the code level, enforce at the infrastructure level, and observe everything at the runtime level. There's a lot of different products, but IBM has a couple. Again, a lot of people in the sponsor hall here. This is just an example of what you can see in like a code dashboard, different vulnerabilities that your code may have. Again, using those plugins while you're writing code, doing static code analysis. Terraform, infrastructure as code, that looks like code to me. Increases visibility, and automated workflow. So we're doing branches, doing pull requests, and doing code reviews before anything ever gets to production. I doubled this up so we can take a picture of this if you want. But this is a common infrastructure as code workflow that I see. A lot of times you have operations or platform teams publishing infrastructure as code modules to some registry, and then your developers are using those modules for production, test, and dev environments or workspaces. A lot of tools will have a plan and apply phase, and so that is where your policy as code takes place. So your operations teams, security teams, finance teams can all enforce those guardrails. And then on the runtime level, we have Instana, but again, there's a lot of different observability tools, and really around resource optimization, automatically discovering services. You don't want to be doing things yourself. Thank you again. Come by the sponsor booths. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Michaels.